Okay, so let's introduce ourselves, guys.
Hello, I am Laura Louise B. Sarabia.
I am Angel Karen Villajos.
And I am Marivic Zuñiga, and this is Psychpods, the Psyche publication's first ever Is it audiovisual?
Yeah,
I think
it is.
Haha, I knew it. Anyways, yes, it is the first audiovisual podcast of this publication, and this here is the pilot episode, and we're going to be talking about dreams, and basically, we're not going to go in depth, but we're going to be discussing our experiences with dreams or, sleeping.
I actually have a thing for this. It's, I don't know if you can read it, but I have this thing.
Oh, wait.
I have this thing. It's 10,000 Dreams Interpreted by... There's no specific author, but the author I found online is Pamela Ball. This is why I wanted to do dreams first. Ay, char! Naaka!
Yeah, I do.
I
just got it. Actually, no, that's not true. I got it a few months ago and fully booked before the pandemic hit. And this is Sigmund Freud's The Interpretation of Dreams, but it's not the original German text. I wish it was, but it's the translated and edited version by I don't know how to pronounce his name actually, so I'm just gonna say it's translated and edited by James Strachey, yeah. And some of the text that I've read so far is slightly raunchy.
Si Sigmund Freud, abot na lang. That one is the more psychoanalytic one, and this one, I guess, is more spiritual because a lot of the definitions in this book are rather spiritual in nature rather than sexual, but there are still some sexual meanings because, Sigmund Freud was the one who started the whole dream analysis thing, but Sigmund Freud was like, no, most of your dreams just talk about sexual stuff. So, siya.
I mean, yeah, we actually had, we created a bunch of questions, remember? And we had a question here do you agree with Sigmund Freud? So in this scenario, or in this case, do you guys believe in Sigmund Freud's interpretation of dreams?
Ikaw, Ange, do you agree with Sigmund Freud with the whole,
I don't agree with Sigmund Freud. I mean, maybe in some aspects, I guess, but entirely, no.
Did he state, Jude, na every dream that you have equals something sexual, or is it every Jude?
Honestly, if you acquire the book, it shouldn't be read in one sitting. It has to be paced. I think a common misconception that Freud is famous for is that he saw all dreams in a sexual manner, which is not necessarily true based on the interpretation of dreams or what I've read of it so far, but majority of Freud's thoughts or his theories are heavily reliant on sex or pleasure. Somehow that overpowers that's not the correct term, but yeah, somehow that overpowers the non-sexual aspects of his theory on dreams. I think
the id, ego, and superego. I mean, we had that in our intro to psych last year, but what about the other psychologists?
I think Jung and Adler had their theories on dreams as well.
He did, but for Adler, it's like you dream to deal with problems in the real world without really having to deal with them.
Okay.
It's really sad. And Jung thought of dreaming as our conscious and unconscious mind working together in a sense to create a balance, or what Jung likes to call compensation.
Oof.
But it's of the psychological kind.
Oh, okay.
But so anyway, aside from that, one of the other, based on the small outline thing that we've had, have we always believed, especially since we were kids, have we always believed that dreams have had a certain meaning? Before we knew the whole Freudian analysis thing, or the whole dream analysis thing, have we always believed that, that dreams have had meaning? Angel, though.
For me, no, not really. I always dreamed of being able to play outside since I wasn't given the opportunity. Kaya, asthmatic ko sa una and all.
I'm shook.
I mean, I remember some dreams from my childhood, and I don't most of the dreams that I remember kanang when I was young are dreams that either made no sense to me or dreams na like scared me. Like, I remember kanang when I was young, I had this one dream na kanang what's the name? Kanang Mandaue Bridge bitaw, the new Mandaue Bridge. I had a dream that I was at the top of the bridge and I was holding on to sa kanang murag rail. Like the bridge by kind of like there's like what's that tawag ano yun? Like murag supports ba? Na yung supports, and I remember I dreamed na I was holding onto that and I woke up in the middle of the night. Kaya I got scared. I'm not sure. So but when I was young, I didn't really think it had meaning. I just thought, I was like, oh no, murag, the way I classified it, it's just a nightmare. It doesn't mean anything. But karon baya is like nightmares baya have meaning.
That's true.
You, Marv.
I don't know. I mean, as a kid, I had a really wild imagination. I mean, I still do. There was this one dream. I told my mom about the dream. I was like, Mom, I had a dream. And she was like, oh, what's the dream about, man? And I said, like, I told her, like, I moved all the people in the Philippines out of the Philippines just so that we could have, like, a year or two of cleaning the Philippines.
Sure.
That way it would solve, like, I don't know, environmental stuff. And my mom was like, yeah, that's a dream. Because that would never happen. I'm just like, what do you mean? But yeah, I think like some of our dreams, like some of its symbolic meaning is because of our culture. Like specific dreams have specific meanings. Like if you dreamt of like your tooth falling out, I think it meant like you'll get riches or like you won't get riches. But I actually can't remember, but it has something to do with riches.
Yeah, I think something with money also. For me, that's just because a lot of the dreams that I've had like in recent years, a lot of them have something to do with emotional and spiritual growth. Whatever spiritual means, because in psychology there isn't exactly a direct definition for spirituality, but like for mental maturity and just overall growing, apparently those are the kind of meanings that my recent dreams have had, even though I kind of don't remember my dreams that much. Yeah, speaking of which, do you guys actually remember your dreams? Angel?
Some, not all, but as soon as I wake up, I forget about it, so...
That's like a lot of cases of individuals. Like, they forget about what they dream about as soon as they wake up. So, there was actually this docuseries that I watched. It's called The Mind Explained. And basically, there was a neurologist there named Robert Stickgold who suggested that if you want to remember your dreams, you drink tons of water before going to bed. He said something like, it would somehow wake you up in the middle of the night and what you were dreaming will like still be retained in your memory.
Okay, but like for me, I only remember the dreams that are either very disturbing or dreams that like kanang basta I just feel weird to the point that I remember. Okay, sometimes when I wake up, I like think when I wake up, I have like, I definitely had a dream, and like I want to go back to the dream, but then like as soon as I start to wake up, kay murag, it slowly disappears, to the point that I cannot remember anything except for like fragments and bits. And sometimes I will wake up na murag, I'm pretty sure I wake up and I feel na I'm pretty sure I dreamed something, but it's all very blurry and I don't remember a thing about it.
Okay.
And I think there's also a thing manggod saying na kanang people dream all the time, ? But they don't remember it though. So what do you guys think about that part?
I mean, excluding those with sleeping disorders, yeah, like 99% of us do dream. It's just a problem as soon as we wake up, like we can't remember our dreams. Like I think it's the dream occurs at oh my gosh, what's the name of that cycle that occurs when we sleep?
During REM sleep.
Yeah, that one. Rapid eye movement thingamajig.
Rapid eye movement sleep.
Wait.
Ikaw, Ange, what do you have like to say about like dreams thingies, or like what questions have you been thinking of for like dream analysis, or just dreams in general?
Actually, I've been interested in it since last sem. Yeah. Sleepwalking, like the guy was a farmer and he cut off coconut for a living, and he like abiniya buko daw, but when he woke up, his wife, like, her head was cut off.
Oh my gosh, that's so tragic. But like, sleepwalk, is that considered sleepwalking?
I think sleepwalking is the umbrella term.
Okay, but like, did it say in the report, or was it ever mentioned if he loved his wife or not?
I'm not sure.
Okay, because I feel like he hated his wife, or that's just like my opinion.
Do you think he'll get charged for that?
I don't think he will get charged for that.
But it's still murder, though.
It's still murder. It's still murder, even if he did it.
It wasn't murder.
Is it second degree or third degree?
I mean, none of the degrees. It's in the sense, like, I guess in law terms, because he wasn't exactly conscious when he did that action, when he beheaded his wife. And I'm not sure actually in the Philippines, but I did read before that you cannot hold a person accountable if they weren't conscious during the process of a crime, if that makes sense in a way. I feel bad for him though. Like, imagine like waking up and then
I mean, yeah, I'd feel bad if like I'd feel bad if I like just woke up suddenly and then I saw.
There has to been like some kind of trigger point though.
Yeah, there's also that, but I was like thinking, I don't know, just at the top of my head. Now maybe it's because it's a dream of something that he does so often, and sometimes when good in dreams, it's like in dreams, but like sometimes things or sensations feel real. Like really real. Like sometimes in dreams you can feel like someone touching you, or someone, or the wind on your face or something. For me especially, what I feel most in like dreams is kanang the sense of touch bitaw, more than other senses. Well, of course there's sight and there's hearing sometimes. But for me, most jud ang akong ma-remember jud most of the time is kanang the feeling of touch. So basin it's the same niya na because he dreamt of something.
The gun could notice no someone.
Because he dreamt of something na very routine niya. He just went through it without thinking about without stopping to think if it was real. Kay routine man kaya niya na he cuts open coconut for like a living. I don't know.
Yeah,
That's just my theory on it.
I think it would have also been hard to wake him up because, if I remember correctly, you're not supposed to wake people who are sleepwalking. You're supposed to just lead them gently back to the place where they're sleeping, though, his wife couldn't do that because he was chopping her.
That's so good, but at the same time, it's so scary.
Yeah, like, it's tragic, but it's fascinating. Like, you want to know if there were other cases and what triggered those individuals in each of those cases. Like, emotions? Like, was the farmer really stressed because he wasn't able to harvest enough coconuts, so he thought harvesting his wife's coconuts would yield more profit?
Why would you phrase it that way?
I mean, why wouldn't I phrase it that way? But anyway, let's move on. Let's not get into what I said. Next question or next thought is like, what are your thoughts on sleep paralysis?
Thoughts on sleep paralysis? I mean, what do I know about sleep paralysis? I've not experienced it, thankfully. Yeah, I've definitely seen and heard cases where it feels like, I mean, first of all, it feels like, one, you wake up, you know that you're awake, you wake up, and you feel that you can't move. And it's like, there's something on top of you. And of course, that's called the sleep paralysis demon.
Yeah, I remember around grade 12, I had sleep paralysis, and it occurred often. And what happens is, you wake up, like if you're sleeping like facing upward, basically like a supine position, it's usually when sleep paralysis occurs. So I woke up, sweat, I couldn't move anything, and that led me to panic. And then that panic somehow gets like caught in your throat, and you can't breathe. And then you try to open your eyes. It takes a while for you to open your eyes, and it feels like forever, or that I thought it was forever. But you do get to open your eyes, and you see like dark shadows. You're not sure if it's real or not. Most likely it's not. You see like a darkened figure like in the corner just looking down at you, and then it slowly approaches you, and it slowly crawls up towards you and grabs you at the neck. And like after that, like it tries to apply pressure on the vulnerable parts of your neck, and it feels like you're getting choked, and it's closing in on your throat. And it was such a terrible feeling. Just when I thought it was gonna get worse, it just like it goes away, and you get the feeling in your body back, like little by little. Like I tried to make a fist with each of my hands and see if I could open it with ease, and I would do it like at least like three to 5 times. And once everything seemed like normal, I just like, what was that? Yeah, screw this crap. I mean, it's a terrible feeling, but they say you can't die from it, but I felt like I was going to die.
Okay, actually, here's the thing. There was this, I mean, I don't think it's sleep paralysis, but it's something similar though. It's from Game Theory. Yeah, it's a video from Game Theory about the game Try to Fall Asleep, where it was apparently based on a real incident that happened during the Vietnam-American War. And apparently there were some soldiers who, I forgot which side, but it was basically where like soldiers had like PTSD bitaw. They were traumatized from the war, and then there were some instances where like they didn't want to sleep because they felt they could get killed from like sleeping. Like it was something similar to like a sleep paralysis demon, but clearly not sleep paralysis. I forgot now. It was a while since I saw the video. But basically the case was now there were 1 or 2 incidents that were researched and recorded for research ba. And then one of them, like it was a kid, I think. It was a kid, I think. The memories of the video are kind of blurred. But there was a kid, and he really didn't want to sleep Jude at all. And of course, because worried when young parents, his parents were like please try to sleep, but the kid was like, no, I don't want to sleep. And eventually though, at one point, so to the point na lang Jude, that the kid would actually, the kid had a coffee machine in his room so that he wouldn't fall asleep ever, until at one point and then he really tried to explain manjud to them like, I don't want to sleep because I feel like if I go to sleep I'll die. And the thing is, when he finally fell asleep on the couch, and then the parents moved him to his room, when they came back to check on him, he actually died. And there was like no sign of like there was nothing wrong sa yung brain, sa yung body systems. It's just like he just died from like a nightmare apparently, because there were really just records manjud of like people saying like there's this thing in a nightmare that makes me not want to sleep because it feels real and it feels like there's something after me. So yeah, that's definitely the only thing that I know about something like similar to sleep paralysis, because there are some cases manjud na they really said na there was like a creature, like a black creature with eyes crawling on top of them. So yeah, something like sleep paralysis. But apparently they actually died.
Oof. Yeah, sleep paralysis could also occur as soon as you finish eating, like you sleep dying. So there are people who say like if you just ate, you're full and you're really tired and you really want to sleep, like they would suggest like don't sleep on your back, sleep on your side because it could also be like air bubbles or something similar that like are from your stomach that somehow go up and it feels like there's a weight there pulling you down, which could be manifesting as somehow like that sleep paralysis demon that you mentioned.
Ikaw, Ange, what about anything about sleep paralysis?
No, I haven't had any experience with sleep paralysis, but there were times when I woke up to my dad just
Like seizing?
yeah. He can't talk or he can't move. He's just moaning and groaning. I thought he was dying. It was very scary because we had a relative who died from that.
Okay, but I think I'm not sure, of course, but your relative could have like died from something biological, I suppose. Like, did you ever find out how he died?
Yeah, he tended to sleep down when he was full. Like, he had a full stomach, like the one you explained earlier.
The one with you're not supposed to sleep immediately after. So fun tip, guys, don't sleep after you've eaten.
Yeah, or like if that's the case, like maybe they could drink something that would help the digestion process like speeden up or like quicken. Maybe if they tried drinking like
Sprite?
Pepsi. No, yeah.
Pepsi?
Yeah.
Sprite, sorry.
Oh my god. Okay, so this other question: why do some dreams repeat? Like, I think we've seen this in like movies and in TV where it's like a character has the same dream over and over again, and then it becomes like their call to adventure. But I mean, aside from, of course, I'm going to assume that it's based off something real. Pero kanang, like, have we had, or what are our experiences with, like, dreams that repeat, if we've ever had any?
For me, I do have reoccurring dreams, like, from time to time. And let's take it in the context of those main characters or those characters in films that have reoccurring dreams. They have those reoccurring dreams because, like, they have some unresolved like issues or feelings, or like there was something in the movie that was unresolved and so they were dreaming about it. So I guess like recurring dreams are like important for us to somehow find aspects in our life wherein we can somehow find closure to those unresolved issues. How about you, Ange? Have you ever had repetitive or recurring dreams?
The only repetitive I have is that I dreamt that I was Fantine and I was calling out for that. That's basically it. I always dream about that. I don't know why. Maybe because I always watch it?
I mean, yeah, that is a possibility. Like, you've watched something so many times already that you've memorized it, and when you're going to sleep, it's just like a free playthrough, like in your head. It's freaking amazing.
I'd like to have a dream like that, but
I know, right? Like hashtag sana.
That kind of dreams.
Do you dream of dying?
consistently.
Yes.
I mean, what about you, Laura? Like, do you also have like repetitive dreams?
For me, I never have the same dream specifically. What I find is that I often dream of the same locations. Basta, and for me, any kind of San Carlos na campus,
Wow.
maka-dream jud ko.
Hashtag
Subconsciously and
loyal.
unconsciously, I love my school. I'm going to tell you this. I had this really... Again, I only remember dreams if they're slightly disturbing. Think Victorian era main campus. So basically, Victorian era main campus, it was raining. And then suddenly, on my way to class, someone announces, "Hoy guys, the execution starts at 5 p.m. I'm upag-late or unsa ba?" And so I go to this classroom, and I'm looking through the door, and I'm looking through the small windows, the door, and there are like 5 people. I think like one or two of them were girls, and it was the junior high na uniform, and you know, their hands were tied behind their back, and there was a teacher with a gun.
A gun?
Yeah, there was a teacher with a gun, and I don't remember the teacher's face, but I remember that it was a dude. It was a dude na teacher. And then, you know, one by one.
What the heck? Lora, what?
One by one, they went bye-bye.
No.
So that was my really weird dream.
Dude, that's not even weird.
That I felt like... Basta, again, I only remember dreams if they're like disturbing.
Yeah,
but,
disturbing is right.
The one thing that's consistent in the whole thing is that it just takes place in the University of San Carlos. Like, among the people who were in the line of execution, I only remember that I hate one specific person because their face was the most memorable, or their face was the face I recognized instantly. Because, you know, like, when you see faces in dreams, we already know that it's because we've seen the face in real life. So actually, the other faces there were just kanang people na I had probably seen just walking around SAS, or even some of kanang my blockmates na dili kayo ko close.
Okay, so you had this dream sort of recently then.
I mean, because I remember naman I talked about it man to my friends sa Discord. Na I was like, the topic was about dreams, and I told them that dream, and they looked at me weird. It's definitely not the most recent dream I've had. But it is one of the most memorable.
Oh, okay. I have an idea because of that. What if we tell each other our most recent dreams, and then we see if our recent dreams somehow match our current situation now? Like, are our dreams currently triggered by something that happened to us within the week or within that day? Let's see. Angel, start with you.
My most recent dream was, I guess, when I was on a date with my girlfriend. Tapos, we were riding this Ferris wheel sa, Anjo World. Tapos, I tried to push her off sa Ferris wheel. I don't know.
What?
I don't know why I did that. I don't know. I tried to push her off, and she grabbed a hold of me. Tapos, we both fell off.
Both of you?
Angel, why? That took a dark turn from some adorable romantic thingamajig.
But here's the thing, you tried
but
to
you pushed her.
So she dragged
I'm
you
gonna
with
see
her.
what that means.
Okay, in my defense, we were fighting the night I jumped on that.
Okay, that's justification, I suppose.
There's actually a definition for pushing. Char, if we are pushing, it doesn't specify if it's like someone or something, but that's why it says if we are pushing, then we are usually exerting our will positively.
Wow.
So that's something. Okay, wait, there's this. When in everyday life we are aware of pressure, this can be surface in dreams as being pushed and can sometimes indicate a fear of illness. So a fear of being sick. In certain forms of mental illness, the patient experiences a feeling of being pushed around and made to do something he does not want to do.
No, I think it's the opposite.
Yeah, because you pushed someone. I mean, that's it. The most of it is just about if you're the one being pushed, not the one pushing. Because if you're pushing, then it means exerting will positively, according to this book at least. So the other thing was a Ferris wheel, right? I'm gonna see if they have that.
If someone would ever ask me, what's the most romantic thing you've ever heard of? I'm gonna answer this. I'm going to be answering. So there was this one person who took her girlfriend out in an amusement park, and they were riding a Ferris wheel, and she decides to push them. Little did she know that her girlfriend dragged her down with her. Best date ever.
We were fighting, okay? We were fighting.
Oh, that doesn't sound
You were
good.
fighting in the dream?
Oh, no. The night the dream happened, we were fighting, okay?
Oh, before.
So your automatic response would be pushing her from a Ferris wheel.
Yeah.
Nice.
Here's the thing.
Go.
We were fighting about her not having enough confidence in herself.
There's no amusement park. This book isn't particularly dated. My cousin Angelica has a better book. But basically, you fell in your dream, right?
She fell first, then she dragged me down.
So it's basically the definition of falling in this one. This might be kanang true to what you said, Angel Katong. To dream of falling shows a lack of confidence in our own ability. We may feel threatened by a lack of security, whether real or imagined.
See, I wasn't trying to kill her off, though.
Alright. You weren't trying to kill her off. Continue, Lora.
Falling has come to be interpreted as surrender, particularly sexual,
Oh my.
and with moral failure of not being as one should. Falling in dreams may mean that we feel we are slipping away from a situation. Essentially, we are losing our place. This can be because of others' negative influence. So, I mean, that's what the book says. For pushing, it's like exerting your will positively, and then in falling, accepting that you don't have that much confidence, or feeling that you don't have that much confidence, and losing that feeling of security. Well, considering the situation that you just explained, then yeah, it would make the most sense.
Yeah, that sounds about right. But on a sort of unrelated but still related note, are you guys okay now?
Me or
No. The dreamer.
okay, it was like me or
Yeah, we're good now.
Okay. Good. That's good to hear.
okay. So anyway, back on topic. Marivic, what's your most recent dream?
Save the best for last, Lora. They joke bitaw. Let's go by alphabet.
Ay,
So it was
sampo.
Angel, and then L, Lora. So it's your turn to say your dream.
Again, I don't remember my dreams very well. Only if they're like weird or disturbing. But for me, the most recent dream I had was like I was climbing a mountain and like fantasy stuff started happening, that trees started growing out from the mountainside and I was being lifted like a Jack and the Beanstalk kind of sequence. That's the most recent dream I remember. And of course, naturally, the first thing I did when I woke up was look it up. What's the meaning?
So what's the meaning, man?
In dream sequences, the mountain usually appears in order to symbolize an obstacle that needs to be overcome. By daring to climb the mountain, we challenge our own inadequacies and free ourselves from fear. To reach the top is to achieve one's goal. I didn't reach the top, I was still climbing, so. We all have difficulties to face in life. Often it is how we face those difficulties that is important. The symbol of the mountain offers many alternatives and choices. This means we can work out through dreams our best course of action in everyday life. And then the last definition is representing the center of our existence in earthly terms. The mountain is an image that can be worked on over and over again.
Wow, over and
Char.
over. For Lora, basically, it's #mental maturity. But seriously, Lora, do you think that's true?
I mean, I'd like to think na I'm mature in my thinking, but regression is a defense mechanism, so there are times na murag, rewind lang ko gamay and I act like a child a lot. I'm not gonna say sometimes, I will say a lot because I act like a child a lot. And then the other thing was tree. First tree. Okay. Medyo taas-taas kay names, but I'll just try to pick the one that's like the closest to what I saw. So this one. A large messy tree would suggest a chaotic personality.
Yes, I totally agree
There
with
is a-
that. Yes.
There is a game which can be played in waking life if one dares. Char, ask a friend what sort of tree does he or she think you are, and what sort of tree they think they are. That's what it says in the book. So I'm gonna ask Marivic now. What kind of tree do you think I am?
A chaotic tree. A very chaotic tree.
Chaotic tree. No, but
Flat
like,
out chaotic.
if you could picture me as a tree.
I mean, who says I haven't done that like every day, Laura? I always picture you as a tree.
Would I have big
Oh,
leaves,
for
small
me,
leaves?
You would be, I can't really think of a tree right now because I'm just imagining like a kitty drawing of a tree, and then it has your face, and it's so weird. But I think you'd be like a pine tree, like a pine cone tree. Yeah, I think it's either a pine tree or a pine cone tree. I'm not sure if that's the same kind of tree.
Yeah, you associate pines with me.
I mean, I'm so sorry. I just can't think of a tree as of the moment. I'm so pressured to think of a tree.
Anyway, so kuan siya, a rough trunk suggests obviously a rough and ready personality.
Wow, rough and ready.
Rough political personality, guys.
Debatable.
Another question would be, what kind of roots do you think I have? Is it like, are the roots like deep underground, or they're just like spreading around the floor like no one's business?
You're kind of in between. You would be like a deep-rooted person, but you could also from times like be all over the place like nobody's business. Does that help?
So spreading roots would indicate an ability to relate well to the physical world, and conversely, deep roots would suggest a more self-contained attitude.
Wow, self-contained.
The last definition of a tree is spiritually, it symbolizes the tree of life and represents the union of heaven, earth, and water. When we learn and understand our own tree, we are able to live life successfully on all levels. Okay, Marv, it's your turn.
Now I have to top that. My
You don't have
most
to top
recent-
it.
I do want to top it. No, I'm just joking. My most recent dream occurred actually when I collapsed a few days ago. I think I messaged you guys about that. Yeah, I collapsed and I had my dream then. Picture it. I'm in front of the Snow Queen's castle.
Which one? Which Snow Queen?
Which
one?
The one from Dark Parables.
Okay,
yeah,
sure.
that one.
I'll send a picture to Angel para makagets siya. Or I can send it to her now para makagets siya.
Yes, please. So anyway, yeah, I was in front of the Snow Queen's castle, the one from Dark Parables, and I was apparently the detective or the main character there. But instead of solving the mystery solo like you're supposed to do in the actual game, I met a girl.
You met who?
Yeah, I met a girl, and
Kinsa, tell me, charot.
it's a girl that I have a crush on. But anyways, yeah, she was there waiting for me in front of the Snow Queen's castle, and she said that, I know you're gonna screw this up, so I'm going to help you with your problem.
What
and then
problem?
the adventure... sorry. The problem was I was supposed to somehow solve the mystery of this glass crystal heart.
Char, may paka-dark parables imong dream.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty cool, yeah. But after that, we solved the Dark Parables mystery. Like, we did find the glass crystal heart thing. And then after that, we went to a shore near that castle. And while we were walking, I sort of shape-shifted to a cat for some reason. I don't know why. But yeah, that's basically my most recent dream. You could have gotten my falling tooth one, but no, you had to end up with my Dark Parables one. I am so sorry.
Okay, my problem with that is that is way, way specific. I don't know how to interpret that. How am I supposed to interpret? What does it mean to meet with the Snow Queen?
I mean, maybe the important themes would be like journey, shape-shifting, winter, I suppose. Maybe the girl.
We don't need to know. We don't need to know the girl part. It's closer to journey, siguro, because they don't have adventure in this book. Wait, hold on. The image of a journey is very potent. Anytime the idea of a journey becomes apparent, it has something to do with the way that we carry on with our everyday lives and how we move forward. Every step that we take towards understanding ourselves and the world around us can be pictured in terms of a journey, and the dreams that a person has reflect that movement.
Okay.
So you're going somewhere. You're going places, Marivic.
I mean, not during the pandemic. I'm staying at home, just like you listeners should too.
Well, they don't have shape-shifting. They just have shapes. I want to see if they have something about winter. In dreams, winter can represent a time in our lives which is unfruitful. It can also represent old age, a time when our energy is running down. At a period in our lives when we are emotionally cold, images associated with winter, such as ice and snow, can highlight the appropriateness or otherwise of the way we feel. In clairvoyance, the seasons can also indicate a time of year when something may happen.
Okay.
Within the cycle of nature, winter can represent a time of lying fallow before rebirth. Hence, winter can mean death.
Oh, wow. Death.
So,
I love death. Yes. Thank you for that. But okay, let's go back to the question I had earlier about whether our dreams currently matched our feelings or situations. I mean, yeah, for Angel, and she did push her girlfriend from a Ferris wheel because they were fighting at the time, and the interpretation is as accurate as it can get. How about you, Laura? Do you think you're experiencing mental maturity
yes,
or something?
I definitely would say that I am, and I'm definitely going through stuff. I mean, first of all, the whole adjustment to this kanang online classes, nothing personal stuff, and for me specifically, like writing stuff. I don't know. That's honestly what I've been feeling like the past few days. Wanting to write at a fixed ratio, charot, is like an obstacle for me. But I am unfortunately not wholly self-enacting when it comes to that part. But the psyche is there, so I still write stuff for the psyche and other chuchu. So yeah, I would say it's pretty accurate. I wouldn't say 100% accurate, but of course, because dreams can still be more or less vague. So muna siya.
Okay. For me, I still have to reflect on the interpretation that you gave, but so far it's sort of accurate. The emotional connection, as well as a journey, like something's going to happen. It may or may not. I mean, there are things already happening, like our online classes, all of our organization works and all that. So yeah, some things are happening. Maybe more things will happen. Let's just hope for the best.
Okay, so one other question last. Do we believe that dreams are... I mean, I think this is pretty obvious, but do we believe that dreams are superstitions? Or do dreams have some relation to superstitions? Because basically the way I phrase this is dreams equal superstitions. So.
Okay. Before, dreams were somehow equal to superstitions. Like they would say that they were predictions or oracles on the like. But I think that individually, if we put meaning to our dreams, then it could be superstitious depending on what meaning we put into it. What do you guys think?
Not really. It can only mean something if you think it means something, diba?
It's definitely a mixture of both. Mostly because it's I like being imaginative, but the dream means something magical and something whimsical, but also it can mean something solid and realistic and logical. So I think when people put meaning to it, they tend to be subconsciously or consciously kanang aware of the stuff that they do and how they do things. Yeah, or what they want to do. I mean, sometimes I've definitely had the realization, if I have had a dream of someone or something, it's it influences the way I think about that someone or something. Especially if normally before, I didn't really care about this certain thing, but if I have a dream about it, I wake up and I'm I realize something about it. So, stuff like that.
Also, sometimes dreams compel us to act, compels us to action. And if putting meaning into your dreams comforts you or compels you to act in such a way that would garner a positive result, then go ahead, put meaning to your dreams. But if you know, or if you think that the dream is giving you like a negative like outlook, or it's making you down, then try or just don't put meanings to it that may or may not be accurate. So long as it gives you comfort, then go for it.
It's dependent on the person. Like if you want to put meaning into your dream, then fine, go ahead. If you think the dream is useless, that's also okay. No one's really gonna stop you from doing that or anything. You should do you.
Well said. You should do you. Hold that in whatever context you want. But yeah, that concludes the pilot episode of Psychpods.
Yes, we finally filmed the first episode.
Thank you guys so much for listening. Guys, I think that went well.
Surprisingly, that went well.
Yeah, I think that was good too. Yeah.
So, hopefully we get to see you guys in our next episode. Bye for now!
Bye!